Good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Rosalie, and I woke up this morning with a lot of confidence within myself. And I have been receiving signs from, hey Deja, I have been receiving signs, or I've been paying attention to the signs around me or that are presenting themselves to me. My eyes, my senses are wide open, and a lot of information because I have been allowing myself to just flow. Hi everyone. I have been receiving tenfold as much back, and it's so amazing. I really am magical. You are too. I'm just realizing my magic, and I'm just like, okay, this stuff is real. And I'm still a little nervous because I have to get used to this. I have to go on. Hey, I have to get on to get myself in this rhythm because this is what I'm supposed to do. This morning, I'm going to say some things and they're probably going to sound crazy, but this is what's happening. This is what's happening, and it's amazing. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but it's real. Shit's getting real in my life. Let me just, give me a second real quick. Let me put my face in the sun. Sometimes you have to do that. Shit, I forgot I have mascara on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me just say what I gotta say. It will make sense to who it needs to make sense to. And I'm being my authentic self. So this morning, I woke up and I just felt different. It felt different. It felt good. And I'm just going to say this. It's going to sound crazy as fuck, but this is real. Okay. So some of you know this. I have been receiving messages from many places, but one place in particular that I have been paying particular attention to is my microwave. I know. My microwave has been giving me number messages. And at first I was just like, what the I thought it was malfunctioning for a while. But it's been consistent. It's been consistent at certain times. And the numbers have been consistent with what I have been doing in my life. And it's been reassuring numbers. I had to Google all of them, but as strange as it sounds, numbers and our messages from the other, yes, my house is communicating with me big time. The numbers that have been popping up, and when I look up the messages to them, have been so in line with what I have been doing, and I have been following my purpose now that I know what it is, finally. I'm not alone, for one. I felt alone for a long time. A long time I felt alone because of certain people not being in my life. Things going good, but I just felt a void. And then this year, oh my gosh, this year has been so transformational, to say the least. I am a completely different person inside and out from where I was at the beginning of this year. The series of events that took place because I was paying attention has led me to this whole new place that I never thought I would ever be, especially here and in my heart and in my soul. Why I say this is because I know I am meant to speak my story, my journey, the lessons that I have been learning has brought me so much wisdom. Everything, the pain, all of the pain that I have endured has been lessons to lead me up to this point that I am at right now. I know I was meant to speak. I knew it since I was a kid. Being brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, it took me a while to realize, why am I going through this? When I realized when I didn't want to be a part of it. But what I learned from being in that organization, going door to door, preaching to strangers since I was a baby, meeting all the different types of people from different backgrounds, seeing their homes, because I've been invited into many, many homes preaching God's word. It taught me a lot. I was always very observant of everything. I pay attention to the details because I want to learn. I've always been someone who wanted to learn and grow. I've always been, still am, always will be. The point is, all of this series of events from my youth that brought me so much pain led me up to build up this confidence, this courage within myself to help others. And everything that I've been learning right now has brought me the utmost confidence in myself to do this and to reach people and to help people, because I love people. I love my enemies too. Since I was a child, I have always been one who attracts those. I attract a lot of different types of people. But one thing is, even the people that I don't agree with, or the people who are even the not so good people, I'll just put it that way, I always can look deep into their soul and see the good. And I know my purpose is to help draw the good, to help people see the good within themselves. This world is changing. A lot of people are waking up. It's no coincidence. It's intentional, because a change is needed. So many changes have happened to me this year that needed to happen. And I'm so happy these things happened. They didn't make sense at first. I'm an emotional, what I did realize with myself, and of course finding out about human design and all of these different avenues that I've been learning about, that one I never thought I would ever learn about, have led me to understand why this series of events have happened in my life. And if you're paying attention to your journey, which is what I want to help encourage people to do, is to pay attention to the things going on in your life. If there's something, and if I'm jumping all over the place, this is how it's happening. Pay attention to the things happening in your life. Pay attention to things that seem to get you frustrated. Was it yesterday I posted something about, instead of being frustrated, like, why the fuck is this all happening to me? Why is all this bad stuff happening to me? What is it trying to tell you? Why are you getting frustrated? It's telling you something's got to change. This is why you keep having the same thing happen to you over and over and over again. You need to learn what it's teaching you. Just like my motto a few years ago, some of you may know, I used to have this motto: turn every negative into a positive. Find the positive in the negative. However you want to word it. Look at the situation differently. Things are stopping you from doing things intentionally so you can be on the right path of where you are supposed to lead yourself. I've been paying attention to that. When I started my happiness journey about 8 years ago, that's what was happening to me. I was in that mode of, why is all this? Nothing was going right. I was so angry. All these different things, and until it was just like, no, Rosalie, stop, pay attention. And I started to make changes. Nothing happens right away, but time is always going to be on your side for you to make the changes necessary to fall in line with what and who you are supposed to be. So let me get back to today, because this is why I know I'm supposed to speak. I have so much to speak. And I need to break it down into other things. So let me get back to the point of why I even got on and went live. So back to my talking microwave. My microwave has been giving me signs. I thought it was weird at first. I thought it was crazy. And if it was me in January and that shit was happening, I would throw that microwave out. But because the series of things have been changing, I've been realizing the synchronicities and the details behind what's supposed to be happening. The numbers that the microwave is telling me are giving me information from my guides or from the higher power. Yeah, I know it's funny, but I mean, this is what it is. The signs are not just from my microwave. I pay attention to a lot of other things happening, animal spirits coming to me, messages coming to me, numbers. You may be seeing 1111 a lot. You may be seeing 333. You may be seeing 777 or 77. Like, these numbers have meaning. Everything is aligned. It's a meaning. And if you don't get it, it's okay. Maybe you'll get it at another time. It's not your time to understand. But these things are happening at a rapid pace in my life, and I'm absorbing. I'm a sponge right now, because earlier this year I gave myself a clean slate to start over, because everything that I had known was a lie. So I had no other choice but to start fresh and learn everything from scratch, like a little kid again. So I'm like a little kid, having that mental sponge, absorbing all of this information. I had been reading through books at such a rapid pace, gaining so much knowledge, paying attention to people, paying attention to how people do things so that I can continue to make better and better choices. I also encourage you to do the same. Pay attention to what's going on in your reality, in your world. Hey, Brandy. I appreciate you all for watching and listening. It's not going to make sense to everyone. I know it, and I'm okay with it, because this is where I am right now. I have been diving into a world that I'm still learning about. I'm still learning about this. I'm in new territory. So, a new number came to me today from my microwave. Usually I was getting the number 7. I was getting 77, which is basically, from what I understand and wrote down, sometimes I forget, but it's basically like, okay, you're following in line with where you're supposed to be going in your destiny. The other day I had the number 3 come up. Yesterday I had the number 3 come up, and then didn't talk to me the rest of the day. It was very interesting. I was like, what is this? This is different. I'm having a different number. Yes, new amazing territory. But I'm not fighting it. And that's the whole thing. Everything is, you just got to go with it. If it feels right to me. I'm the type of person where I have to feel to make a decision. I have to be certain in my soul to move forward. And sometimes I have to go through this emotional wave of when I'm in a low emotion and a high emotion, and see if they align at the same point to make a decision. I've realized that about myself. So that's how I made the decipher if I needed to throw that microwave out or keep it. I paid attention to what the times, and it just all made sense to me. I then did a reading to myself, which I've been doing almost daily readings. Sometimes I don't do daily readings because I feel like my guides and the divine earth mother, whoever is out there watching over me, is like, we don't need to give you another message. You already know what you need to do. Just do what you need to do. And I'm just like, okay. However, today I felt like I needed to do a new reading for myself. And the synchronicities in it was just kind of like, that's what got me emotional, because I'm just like, man. Today I received the number 9 from my microwave. But like I said, it's not just my microwave giving me numbers. I'm looking for the synchronicities. This is the message I had. I want to share it with you because I feel like this message is not just for me, but it's for you too. So when I did my reading, I asked my spirit guides with the utmost compassion and honesty and divine one of light to give, and ancestors to give me what this number means to me and how I'm supposed to move forward with this, and if I'm supposed to share it with you all. And this is what came up. The first message was the wolf spirit. Turn your knowledge into wisdom. And notice it's number 67. That was the first card. Straight to the point, right? Then number 66 came up. The white raven spirit. Trust in the magic. Are you adding these numbers up? Then number 65. The whale spirit. Trust the great mystery. These are my animal spirits cards because I greatly connect with animals. And I also realized I have the ability to talk to my animals without using my mouth. Yeah. I'm not scared. That's the cool thing. I'm not scared about this stuff. This stuff would have freaked me the fuck out years ago. Even a year ago. Number 67, 66, and 65 add up to 198. When you break the numbers down, like in numerology, so 1 plus 9 equals 10, plus the number 8 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. What I also noticed was, I want to make sure I do it in the right order, that they came in. They all start with the letter W. They all have 4 words in them in each message. I just thought that was, this is what I do. I like to break things down and look at the details and try to decipher things, and I'm really good at that. Yeah. Transformation. There was a few other things. Oh, the other thing it sent with the number 9 was humanitarianism, which is what my heart gets really excited about because I love people so much. The whole thing that I was rambling earlier was about is that I love people so much. I just want to help people. So what I love to do, I love helping you all. I know Rob's coming in here. He's like, oh my, what did I just get into? Rosie crying. Oh my gosh. It's just me being me, because one thing I did realize most of my life, because I came from a very abusive, verbally and physically abusive household growing up, where I learned not to cry. I learned to shut my emotions down when I was younger. I didn't cry. I wasn't a crier. I was too strong. I had to be strong to withstand the abuse that I grew up with. Who put that laugh face in there? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to be serious. Anyways, what I've learned was through this year in my transformation, I realized that I I had to let that go. I needed to cry. And this has been, this year specifically, I've done, I mean, it was like waterfalls this year with me crying and all the realizations I went through. Anyways, so that's why I'm a bit more I can easily just cry now, because I've learned how to feel in a different way. And because I've let that part of me go, I don't need to do that. I don't need to hold my emotions anymore for anyone, because I'm not afraid of anyone anymore. If, you know, I'm a different person. So anyways, that leads me to something else that I will talk about another time. I just thought that was just quite interesting how these all came up. I know I got the sun right there, but it's just quite interesting, the synchronicities behind it. And then at the bottom of my deck was the rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. I thought that was pretty cool. Because like after I read it, I was just like, okay, so you want me to turn my knowledge into wisdom. Trust in the magic, because this is some real magic stuff going on. Like, it's magical. Trust the great mystery. I'm not going to understand everything because this is new territory, but trust it. And I can honestly say at this point in time, because there was, when I started realizing that my whole life was a lie from my upbringing, to realizing that there was a point where I was even like, is there even a God? Like, I was starting to turn atheist for a while. I was just like, I just don't know what to believe, because this God that I was brought up to believe isn't true. I don't want to serve that God. Why should I even have to serve a God if God gave me free will? Why do I? That's a whole nother ball game there. But then I started to be like, well, this can't be real. Like, this is some messed up shit. Like, I just, you know, I went through all these different cycles. And then there were different things that just happened to point me back to like, well, yeah, that was a false whatever, but this is real. And when I started to just let myself go with the flow and trust the unknown, even if I can't see it, it's okay. It felt right. When I started to learn about astrology and then had moments where I was reflecting back to my childhood, but when you start paying attention to different, I'm not sure the best way to explain it at the moment, but when you pay attention to the different seasons of your life, even from past years, and reflect on the past and the present and how it still is in line, finding out what still was you through all of that, through all of the different waves and roller coasters of life, what was me or you consistently throughout those traits. And then I started to have flashback memories to make me realize a lot of different things that were happening in my present. And I was like, oh, I've always been interested in this stuff. This is the stuff that excites me. I've come to realize that whatever your purpose is in life, it needs to literally make you, like for me, I'm an emotional generator. So whatever I respond to gives me great satisfaction. That's my passion. Whatever I'm doing, it needs to make me feel satisfied. You need to find what makes you feel fulfilled in your own way. I feel like I'm going kind of off track. Okay, the point I'm getting at with all of this is pay attention to the signs that are around you. Pay attention to see if there's any synchronicities, and then take a moment to step back and realize, what is this telling you? When things aren't going right, what is it telling you? Maybe it's something you have to change. Maybe you have to go in a different course. In some way, you may have to realize what is it? If you're unhappy with where you are right now, you may have to go in a whole nother direction, maybe that you've never thought you'd ever go into. And that might end up being what you're most passionate and greatly successful at. possibly. You have this choice. This is the great part of free will. You have the choice to find out what it is that you want to do and what makes you feel that fire inside. I mean, it took me 37 years to figure this out. It took me a while, but it may not take that long for you. You know, everyone's journey in life is different on purpose. You're uniquely different on purpose. The other part of when you're manifesting your dreams, they're not supposed to be like other people's. They're supposed to be true to you. You're supposed to make this dream that's in your head a reality. You're supposed to do this work. You're supposed to take the steps to make this vision you're seeing, that you're hoping for, even if you don't know how it's going to happen. But when you trust in yourself and take steps, even if it's one step a day at a time, and keep consistently doing it, things will unfold. If it's meant to happen, if it's what you're supposed to do while you're here on this planet, it will make its way to happen, even if it takes, for me, like 37 years to happen. It doesn't matter. Time is relevant. Time's on your side when you need it to be. It will do things right when it needs to happen. And if you're going off course, that's when you're going to have that frustration, that thing saying, hey, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. Stop doing what you're doing. You need to go back over here. What'd you say, Deja? Any book supplies you recommend? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see that. I got like a bazillion books over there. I have been reading so many books. What is the first one? Well, what is... the first thing that's coming to mind, it's hard for me to say because I was going off of, there's not one book sticking out because my journey was unique to me for what I'm learning. But what I did pay attention, what I first started getting into was paying more attention to astrology. I've always been a sky gazer. I've always felt drawn to the planets, to the stars, to outer space. So I started to learn more about astrology and didn't feel... I felt my son. They're downstairs with the nanny. Someone fell. I felt what I started going towards what I was drawn to. So just like when we talked, Asia, you go off of what is it that you're drawn to. Think about what you get excited about and start learning about it, even if it's something that you feel everyone's going to judge you in the book. This is your journey. That's one thing I had to get over too. This is my journey. This is your journey. Everyone's not going to understand it. And not everyone's going to understand it on purpose because it's not for them to understand. Or they'll understand it when they need to. It's irrelevant what anyone else thinks. You're going to reach who you need to reach regardless. Just like I think I've told you too, you know, you have, you can have 5 different types of supermarkets in your community, but you're going to pick which one you want to go to, even if they all carry the same stuff. You go with what you feel like going towards or going to. It's kind of like that same type of thing. So whichever it is, if it's something that that you feel you might be super judged about, do it anyway. Who cares? It's your life. Don't waste your time on people's opinions. I say that because that's what I told myself. I know sharing my story could have some possible adverse effects on my family. However, this is my life, and this is my journey that has led me to go in a different path than them. So it doesn't really matter, right? Try to look at things that way if you can, in your own way. I'm going to get off because I'm not sure. I feel like I got a bit distracted when I heard that, but Yeah, oh, boundaries, wow, are huge. That's something I had to learn. It took me a while to learn how to create boundaries because I let people walk all over me because I'm the type of person who I will trust you right away. I give everyone trust right away, even if it ends up turning into something. There's always a lesson from it. There's lessons from everything. It's just how you look at it. I'm glad that you caught me live too. I felt like I needed to just get on here and talk, and I'm going to keep doing this because this is me growing and strengthening my abilities as well. But embrace the strange. Not everyone's going to understand, and that's okay. I've been discovering my abilities. My psychic, intuitive abilities are coming out of me, and I firmly believe we all have these abilities, these other senses. We have just become so disconnected from who we really are. And my passion has been to dive deeper into understanding who I am, what I am here to do, and learn about my strengths and my weaknesses, and continually to make better choices to be successful in my own way. Success looks different to everyone. Stop comparing yourself to people or saying I need to be like this person or that person. You need to be like you. That's all you need to do. And everything else will come with it. I know that for a fact. Everything will come to you as you need it if you worry about yourself instead of other people's opinions. I say that again because that was something I had to work on for a long time. I'm okay with people calling me crazy and weird because that means I'm doing something I'm supposed to do. Embrace your differences. That's your gift. That's your uniqueness, is how different you are from other people. If someone calls you normal, you may want to be worried. They're not meant to be normal. We're meant to be magical beings. Yeah. Is there anything, I guess, I'll if you have any other questions, now's your time. I'm going to wait one more minute. If you have a question, ask. Oh, man. It was some, what was that? Oh, other reminder. When you think of things, write it down. Not writing it in your phone. Like physically getting the pen, getting the paper. Human design. I'm still learning. This is still something new about it, but I will tell you what I know. I don't have a printout. Ask away. If you have some questions, I'll stay on right now. Thundra, about human design. So I recently came in touch with this. Ironically, this is how sometimes things magically fly into your life for you to learn about, to follow into your path of understanding. And that is what happened when I came to understand about human design. So I was already learning about astrology. I was learning about numerology. I was learning about palm reading. All of these things I needed to understand, which I ended up finding out they're all kind of encompassing in this big sphere of things that are all interconnected in a way. So it was no coincidence that I went down that road because they all intertwine, actually. So human design does incorporate parts of astrology, astronomy, and what's the best way I can explain it? It breaks down almost like, the chakras. It breaks down the different parts of you and what parts actually based off of your name, your date of birth, where you are, just like astrology when you create your natal chart, or in the Vedic, your Vedic chart, your Vedic natal chart, or whatever it's called. It breaks it down that way. So it breaks down what your powers are coming from. And then there's different channels along with it that also bring up your different strengths and weaknesses, both consciously and unconsciously, that either you have to develop on your journey. But what I noticed about it, Jovian chart, I'll put this stuff in the description after I'm done with this video so you can do yours. But I have a friend that sent me a message saying, hey, there's this podcast that you should listen to about human design. I think you'll be interested in it. So I listened to the podcast, and it was about this woman interviewing this woman named AC, who teaches about human design so you can understand better parts of yourself in more detail than your natal chart or Vedic chart will. And of course, I'm just like, well, I just want to keep learning more about myself anyway, so let me learn about this. So then I joined AC's group and started learning more. And of course, because the type of detective I am, I have to keep digging and digging and digging. So I started Googling this, Googling that, finding out video this, video that, this information, that. That's just how I go. I just keep going and digging until I have a general understanding, and then I decipher what parts I need to dig a little more on in different subjects. So in a nutshell, it broke down great detail about who I am, my abilities, not just physical, but magical abilities. Also, I may have to do another video on it, but just if you want to, if anything, Google human design, and a whole bunch of stuff will magically appear on your screen or your phone. I'm really only 2 weeks into learning about human design, but when I go deep, I go deep. I'm not really sure how to explain it right now without still confusing the heck out of people. Because when you look at your chart, you're like, what is this? Hi, Eileen. It's a lot, but when you break it down to understand it, when you want to learn about who you are, and when you really want to focus on what you're supposed to do, I feel it's only advantageous to learn about that type of stuff, especially when it's spot on. That's the thing. When things are spot on, it's like, I would trust that more than anything the government has to say. I'm just being real. When it's telling me what I already know about myself. When I started learning about my natal chart and who I am as a person from the planets' alignments when I was born and this and that, it just all made very clear sense to me. And everything I had been taught, wasn't true. All these things they say to stay away from, but it's actually what we need to be learning about. That's the ironic thing. They don't want you to know these things on purpose. And I know a lot of people are like, who are you talking about when you say they? Think about it, and whatever resonates with you as what they means will mean what it means to you. Just understand your body is superhuman, however you want to look at it. It has the ability to heal itself on even a grander scale than what you may think. And when you start to understand better how it works, in whichever form that may be, it's only going to help you in your success in life. So I'm going to end this here. I think there was one other question I'll come back to. But if there's anything else, please reach out to me. I'm going to be going live and posting more videos, more and more and more, because this is what I'm meant to do, is to speak my journey. And however it resonates with you, it will resonate with you. And I'm here to share through my experiences the wisdom I've learned, in hopes that it will also help you learn more about yourself to become the best version of you. And that's all I care about, is helping you as well as helping myself, because we're all supposed to do this together if we really pay attention, and if we have good intentions and pure heart in whatever we do. If we're making sure not to do things from a vindictive or not a good space. Everything needs to be pure and from your heart for things to go in line with how you're supposed to go. So if you need to make changes in your life, make changes in your life. If things are making your life frustrating, it's usually a sign you need to change something about what's going on in your life or about yourself. So always take time to look back here at you. What am I doing? Why is this happening? What am I learning from this happening? What am I learning so I can make changes? Ask yourselves different questions instead of complaining questions. Why is this happening? What am I supposed to learn from it? How can I make this different? And if you consistently do that with everything that happens or situations that come into your life, whether you think they're good or negative or bad, whatever, you're more and more easily able to handle the situations with less and less stress, because your mind, you're rewiring your brain to look at situations differently. And that's what happened to me over a course of time. When things happen that are challenging, I don't get like that anymore. I'm just like, okay, this happened. How can we handle this differently? Or how can we figure this out? I don't get stressed out when challenging things happen, because I know there's always another way to get through it and to learn from it. And all the experiences, and I say experiences because those are good and possibly bad things that happen in life, the challenges give you wisdom over the course of your life. Everything I've gone through, the pain, as I brought up in the beginning, that I went through and endured, was for a reason to lead me to where I am right now and where I'm about to go. The same life lessons in the way they present themselves to you are on purpose for you to learn from. You have to figure out what it's telling you, how you need to change or adapt, resist, or jump to do something you've never done on purpose to fall in line with what you're meant to do. And when you stay in line with what you're meant to do, everything comes to help lead you on your journey. Really does. Like in a literal sense. Magically, people appear in your life. Magically, resources appear for you to continue. This stuff really happens when you really pay attention. And I know it's not just as easy as I'm saying it. This is something I've learned over years. But this is why I'm here to share my journey. I know this for a person. It's been passionate fire in my heart for a long time. I've only this year finally am at the point where I ain't worried about what no one has to say, because this is my experience and this is what I've learned from every single thing I've gone through. So if you haven't already, I'll also put the link in the comments to Rosalie's journey. That's where I'll be uploading more and more videos and going live also on that page, more so than my personal page. But I just felt drawn today specifically to get onto my personal page and share what I felt today. And I appreciate you for listening. I understand I may be long-winded, but hey, this is who I am, and this is helping me practice to be the best version of who I'm meant to be. So thank you. I love you. Pay attention to what is going on around you. Look for the synchronicities. If there's numbers, whatever, pay attention. If it's that thing that makes you go, figure out why it's making you feel that way. Pay attention. The signs are all around you. Everyone's rooting for your success, including me. I love you. Bye.